Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
And today we're going to talk about the rise and fall of Skip Bayless. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so and hit that notification bell when you do. So, Rob, it looks like Skip Bayless's career is either ending completely but it's definitely ending at Fox. They pay him $8 million a year, and their viewership went from 500,000 to like 40,000 on his show, which was called Undisputed. Shannon Sharpe left last year to go back to ESPN, and the ratings tanked after that, Rob. In 1989, he started being occasionally on the sports reporters. And then he was on Jim Rome's show, and then on ESPN, they hired him full-time to team up with Woody Page for ESPN's Cold Pizza. Later, that was rebranded into First Take, and they hired him full-time. And then eventually Stephen A. Smith came on there, and the two of them argued like crazy. And then that was in 2007. So for the next 9 years, he was on that. And then in 2016, Fox Sports offered him a huge contract. I think it was like $4 million a year at the time. And so he left ESPN, and he teamed up with Shannon Sharpe, who's an ex-football player. And that took off and had really good ratings until Shannon Sharpe left. And then the ratings, like I said, tanked. And then it was announced that last week that he's not going to be there anymore at the end of the summer. So everybody says he got fired. We don't know. I'm certain that Fox said, you're going to have to take a pay cut or something because we can't pay you $8 million a year for 40,000 views.
Right.
So something. Tell me what you think of Skip Bayless.
I don't think anything of him. His takes. He belonged on ESPN because he's so much into the Dallas Cowboys, and that's what all ESPN talks about is Dallas Cowboys during football season. So he belonged there. But on his show, his takes are he's focused on one thing, and he'll stick with that no matter what. He won't change his view on how he feels about a certain player or about a certain thing. And he doesn't really adapt, to what's going on in the sports world. So that's probably why. That's one of the reasons probably why no one wants to hear him, because his takes that he talks about are not that good.
Right. When I saw him in Sports Reporters, I thought he was one of the weakest ones that they would have on all the time. I disagree with him the most often. And then he became famous for Larry Bird underestimation. Essentially, and he blamed it on coaches that gave him advice. Essentially, he said he barely watched Larry Bird in college.
Right.
Coaches told him that he was slow-footed and wasn't going to be a star in the NBA and might not even make it in the NBA. And then he wrote an article, and people gave him a hard time about it. And then later he said that he blamed everybody else. He said, I should have just trusted my eyes, but then he barely watched him. So why would he trust his eyes? And then he said he knew more than the coaches do, because I know more than most of the coaches. And he always comes across as very arrogant to me. And then he became famous for doubting LeBron and underrating LeBron. In fact, he made it a career out of doing that with LeBron, where essentially anything that LeBron did, he would magnify any kind of weakness. Oh, his jump shot sucks or whatever. He'd have a 47-15 game and said, oh, he only shot 30% from 3-point line.
Right.
He only had 8 rebounds. He's a power forward. He should have double digits. Stupid things like that.
Yeah.
And basically, he still underrates LeBron. It didn't matter what LeBron did. After a great game, you knew you have to go to there. You would go to I would Google it. I said, okay, let me see what stupid things he's going to say why LeBron didn't play well. And he came up with something. Amazingly, he came up with something. It's unbelievable and that tells me, he said that he had to trust his eyes and he learned a lesson from the Larry Bird underestimation, but he didn't learn anything because he never learned to be objective. He clearly is not objective about LeBron. So for some reason, he doesn't like him. And this is my theory, Rob. He loved Michael Jordan, which I do. Michael Jordan's my favorite athlete of all time. And I do too. But I can still praise LeBron. It's almost like he sees that as an attack on his hero, Michael Jordan, is LeBron. So he has to keep putting LeBron down so people don't think that LeBron's as good as Michael Jordan. Now, he's not, but he doesn't have to keep doing that.
See, this seems kind of similar to something that's going on nowadays, isn't it, Mark?
Right. Who's that? Caitlin
Hmm,
Clark? Rob,
yeah,
that's what he does. He would magnify anything and do that. And so I was never impressed with his views. And he's actually picking at Caitlin Clark a little bit now too. And so that makes me convinced that I'm right about Caitlin Clark.
yeah. So yeah, it's like our theory. If he predicts something, like his predictions for games and in football series, basketball, anything he predicts, and then we listen to him first, and then we just do the opposite.
And so then he came up with the greatest players of all time in the NBA recently. This is about 6 months ago. And he had LeBron ninth. Now, ESPN did a whole poll, and they did it twice in 2016 and then again in 2021. Anyways, and it's like 85 people they polled. And these are all experts, not people, supposedly experts anyways. And he was third in 2016. Then he was second the last time they did it. I have him second. Rob has him third. I have Jabbar third, and Rob has Jabbar second. I have Jordan first, and Rob has Jordan first. So, but he has him ninth, which I think is bizarre. And it shows you that he still didn't learn a lesson about being objective or trusting his eyes, because I don't know what his eyes are telling him. That the ninth is ridiculous.
I was not a LeBron fan. I'm still not really a LeBron fan and over thing. But like I said, I'm objective. He definitely is one of the. There's no way he can be lower than 3 or 4 as the best NBA player. There's no way he can be, that the ninth.
And he has Larry Bird above LeBron, and he thought Larry Bird was going to be. I heard that take that people said he was going to be too slow-footed to be a success in the NBA. I watched the semifinal game where he just went off. It was crazy, but he was all over the court, and he was saying he wasn't as good in his finals as he was in the semifinal game. But I said, there's no way this guy's not going to be a star in the NBA. I don't care how slow-footed he is. He's all over the court. He has these instincts that he makes up for his speed. And I said, he can shoot the rock. So I said, he's going to be a great player. And
he turned. I saw Larry Bird. I knew he was going to be a good ball. I said he was going to be a good ball player after those playoffs in college. But I was like, it was Larry Bird. And then when I got the chance to see him live his rookie year in our hometown Rochester exhibition game, and I saw him get the ball in the deep corner and swish a 3-pointer with no effort. Then I watched the game. I'm going like, okay, this guy's going to be really good. He's going to be real good. He's going to be great. And that, I think a lot of the other players in the NBA were like me. They're like, who is this guy? And it wasn't because he was white. I mean, I wasn't. I hated when they're going, the great white hope. To me, he wasn't a great white hope. I was like, okay, here's this player coming into the league who they think he's going to be the greatest player. And it turned out he is. He was one of the greatest players.
My biggest objection to sports fans is they're not objective. If they don't like a person, they underrate them. If they like a person, they overrate them. And same thing with teams. They overrate and underrate teams. And I said, no, you're not looking at it right. You have to forget whether or not you like the person or whether you find the person exciting or not exciting or dull or whatever. And you just have to try to trust your eyes in terms of what you're seeing and just go back and evaluate it a second time if it's a person you have strong feelings about, a like or dislike. And people don't do that. And that's why I think the viewpoints you get from sports fans are all over the place because they're not being objective. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but I'm really aware of it because it annoys me when people say bizarre things that aren't even close to being true about someone. And I've heard the same comments about Caitlin Clark, where she was going to be average in the WNBA. Well, she already looks like she's one of the top 5 players in the league. That's not average.
A little above average, I'd say.
and that she's a bust and stuff like that. And you just have to just remember, forget whether you like the person or not and just evaluate them. And Skip Bayless cannot do that a lot of times. So I didn't value his opinion, but he was very popular. In fact, with First Take and Stephen A. Smith, I never even knew what the show was because I never watched it. And then I started seeing excerpts from it and they just like talked over each other and they were annoying and obnoxious. And Stephen A. Smith was just as obnoxious as Skip Bayless. And because Skip Bayless was poor at being objective and his viewpoints, I so often disagreed with it. I started calling him Skip Clueless. And so
Me too.
Skip Bayless, I call him, yeah. And that's what I think he is. But yet he's very successful. So I have to give him that. Some people like him. He's not afraid to say negative things, no matter how stupid he looks.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, people can make money off of that.
But suddenly, I think the gas ran out of the tank, and looks like at the end of July, we're not going to see him anymore. And he might start his own show or something like that. But if he can't be popular right now with Fox supporting him, I don't think he's going to be popular on his own. He's 71 years old. Maybe he'll retire.
Well, he's been around for a while, so I mean, maybe it's just like time for a change. I mean, it's time. I mean, that youthful. Maybe they got a youthful person in there. It's got more views, and his views are kind of old, and so I mean, it's time for a change.
Yeah, let me give you another example. He loves Tom Brady. He acts like Tom Brady's his brother. You know, he talks about him, and
Right.
Tom Brady's great. You know, if you want to call it the GOAT of quarterbacks, no problem. I agree with you. I think it's pretty clear at this point. But then he starts criticizing Patrick Mahomes too much. And I'm saying, okay, here's the same thing with Michael Jordan, LeBron. He's got to try to tear down Patrick Mahomes because he's in love with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's not your friend. He's not your brother. It doesn't matter. He's not going to marry you just because you defend his greatness. So stop it. You sound so silly when you do that. Patrick Mahomes is probably going to end up better than Tom Brady. He just has more talent. And, you know, I don't know if he's going to for sure, but I'm not going to put him down. I'm not going to nitpick what a weaknesses he has, because there's very few weaknesses to his game.
Right. Yeah. I saw that too. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is he? His first cousin, whatever? Why is he hanging out with Brady?
That's my theory about why he tears down Patrick Mahomes and he tears down LeBron James is because, I don't know, he thinks like Michael Jordan and Tom Brady are listening to him, and he wants them to like him because they're his sports heroes. I swear to God, that's what I think it is. And that's why he's not objective. Yeah, and I find that a very bizarre thing about him. It's like almost creepy.
I think you're right. Was he waiting outside their door like, hey, Mike, I'm here. It's me. Hey, Tom. Yeah, it's almost like
you got to put someone down and hoping this sports idol of yours is going to like you because you're as a commentator. Oh, my God. Really? Really? Yeah. That's what I think his motivation is when he puts down LeBron and he puts down Patrick Mahomes, both of which is silly. Because even if they don't end up the number one quarterback of all time and number one player of all time, they're going to end up number two. So
someone's got to be number two.
Yeah, right. So anyways, that's my take on and Skip Bayless. I find him obnoxious. I think he's a huge ego, but he was very successful, and I give him credit for that. And he almost developed a genre, in terms of the sports talk 2-on-2 talk that we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. So anyways, let us know what you think of Skip Bayless, if you liked him. Obviously, some people liked him. I mean, otherwise people wouldn't.
I thought him and Shannon Sharp were kind of, like you said, I thought they kind of okay together.
Yeah, I didn't listen. I would listen to excerpts when I'd see a headline and it interests me. I would listen. I never listened to him on a regular basis ever because I didn't like him and I didn't value his opinions. Mm-hmm. So, but anyways, that's me. Let me know what you think about Skip Bayless, everyone down below, and make some comments down below. And let me know what you think my take and why he defends Michael Jordan and Tom Brady so much and tries to put down Patrick Mahomes and LeBron James and underrate them. I think it's weird. Let's put it that way.
I think so.
Hey, we got our live show every Monday, Eastern time from 6 to 8. And you're going to give normal viewpoints from us. Objective, intelligent viewpoints. We're not going to get creepy viewpoints like that.
Not Abby normal.
No.
As we say in young
You'll never get that. You're always going to get honesty out of us and objectiveness the best we can anyways. We're not going to get Skip Bayless opinions. I hate those type of things that try to have weird opinions or take the devil's advocate just to try to get, publicity. You'll never get that out of us. Right. It's Mondays, again, Eastern time, 6 to 8, except for major holidays, except for the 2 weeks during the Olympics, because we're doing live shows from July 27th to August 10th from 2 to 5 Eastern time, because it's prime time in Paris. And that's when the marquee events are. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Please do so. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers as soon as possible.
Yeah.
That's our goal. That's our next goal. And if you want to donate to our channel, we got super chats down below and also a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Great. Peace out.